There's a place far from this worried world where freedom awaits from that burden you've got locked inside. Oh, how you tend to hide. So won't you go there with me, down to the riverside where the water runs free, and you can let your heart swing open wide. Won't you swing it open wide? 'Cause baby, you were made to carry such a load. Lay it down and we can watch it go down the river of grace. Oh, the river of grace. And all it takes is a little bit of faith, and Jesus comes and carries it away down the river of grace. Oh, the river of grace.
Well, my name is Kitzie Pallas. Many people ask me, is that your real name? And yes, Kitzie is my real name. And in my books, I write my name as Miss Kitzie. And here at the farm, I always call myself Miss Kitzie for the kids. And I write children's books, and I just finished my first biography. I was the one to name Blessings Farm a few years ago. And it's been in the family since 1898. And my grandfather lived here, and my dad was born here, and he died in 2012. He was 100 years old. I think God has a sense of humor. Why would he leave me here? Because I'm at least capable of anybody being here by myself. I'm not handy. I'm just, I'm not good about doing a lot of things around the house. I'm by myself. I'd always had either my father here or my husband was here. So it was a big adjustment to get used to that. So I always kind of thought, God, why did you leave me here? Because I'm probably the last one that should be here by myself on a farm. I was 72 when I first started writing. I wrote my husband's eulogy, and somebody said to me afterwards, they said, "You have a gift for words." And I thought, I do? I said, I've never written anything in my life, It was overwhelming in a way because I never thought of myself as a writer. My son's neighbor, Dr. Jack, was a professor at the IU Dental School. I used to walk at my son's house and walk the dog, and he was my son's neighbor, so I would walk past his house, and I would always notice these lawnmowers in the yard. I thought, why does he have all these lawnmowers in the yard? What's he doing? And seemed odd to have a professor be working on lawnmowers. So I said, well, I think I'm going to write about you and lawnmowers. I wasn't really sure what I meant, but I was going to write about lawnmowers. And I thought, God, where are you going with this? So one day I was over at his house, and here's this old lawnmower sitting on the deck, these big old wheels, all rusty and everything. I said, where did you get this lawnmower? Somebody had called him and said, there's this old lawnmower in the weeds. I mean, he's someplace on the outskirts of Indianapolis, and wanted to know if he wanted to go pick it up. I said, well, I like this lawnmower. I said, I think it has character. He said, you want it? You can have it. So he loaded it in the Jeep, and I brought it home. And that lawnmower became Purdy, the Rag to Riches lawnmower story. So that was my first book. I think it was God at work, because there has been no way I could have written that story without having the help of God. Wouldn't have happened. I just didn't have that kind of ability. It was just stepping out in faith, and I began to understand him more, I think, too, because I've always kind of thought, he kind of tells you what to do and he stays on a straight path. Well, he was just taking all kinds of curves. I think I was going this way, and then all of a sudden he'd go that way. It kind of threw me off because I wasn't really used to that. And to be honest, I didn't like it. I didn't like him doing that to me. I felt like I wanted to be on the straight path. I wanted to know where I was going, and that's not what he was doing. And I think that's where I am now, that I begin to learn to trust him more when I think it's going to go a certain way, and then all of a sudden he takes these other turns. You need to be willing to believe. You got to be willing to put yourself out there so God can use you.
He's got